Here's a generic content warning. Kids shouldn't be listening to this. 18 and over. Content warning. Start show now.
Man, we're doing great. It's starting already, aren't we?
I told you to start. I didn't want to start. I told you to start. You clicked start. You started drinking a drink.
Yeah, you told me to start. I'm like, okay, well, start. Do you have something?
No, I meant start as in begin. You do the opener. You say our names. You do the whole little thing that you think is like a safety precaution, even though people should understand we're not actual reporters or whatever the fuck you usually say.
Hey guys, welcome to the DYHAT podcast. Did you hear about this? It's a podcast about stories. I'm Bryce.
I'm Derek. In front of a live studio audience.
It's just one person is also in the room with us right now.
Yeah!
And you're gonna be so distracted.
Every time I make a joke, I'm gonna look over because I'm desperate for approval. So I'll look over and be like, did she laugh?
Don't. Just a precaution as always. We're not reporters. We're not historians. We're two guys who like stories, and that's okay if we get things wrong.
I don't even like stories. You invited me over here. I just got stuck here doing this for 30 episodes.
Yeah.
This is 30.
Yeah.
20 more and I can retire.
Okay.
That's the goal, right? 50?
Just get to 50?
Isn't that the thing for like TV shows and cartoons? You get to 54 episodes. And then you can stop because that's one for each day of the week. I mean, each week of the year, if I'm correct.
Probably.
That's what they used to do back with old cartoons. You would get a certain amount. Mm-hmm. Only if you were really good. Like if you're like the Rugrats or SpongeBob or the Simpsons still. Yeah. Things like Kim Possible and stuff like that, they only have a certain number of episodes because they're like, oh, okay, well, that's one for each week of the year. We can play it on Friday at 9, and that'd be it.
Nice.
Or like every day of the month or something like that without repeating.
Yeah. I get the idea behind it. It's still at the same time, it's like, oh, then I don't have a job anymore.
Well, you move on to a new cartoon.
Yeah.
Or a TV show.
I guess.
Or, you go into obscurity and you get fired and you work at Burger King.
That's me.
No, you know what the weirdest obscure thing after acting I've seen somebody? You know the kid from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory?
Which one?
The main kid, Charlie.
I know of him, yes.
You know when that's the only famous thing he's ever done. Mm. He works at a dairy farm now. He's a dairy farmer. Weird, right?
I mean, that's what you want to do.
I don't know if he wanted to do that. I imagine it makes good money. It's dairy farming.
Yeah, farming just in general makes good money.
I drank milk this morning. Actually, that's not true. I decided to go with juice this morning.
You're putting him out of a job.
Darn it. He should have went to the juice field.
First of all, he sold the chocolate factory for some reason, started this dairy farm. And now he can't afford it because you're not buying milk anymore, man.
Everyone knows Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory is a documentary.
Yeah.
It's based off of true events.
They have the candy bars out there. Must be.
I remember the first time I went, in Atlantic City. I'm not sure it's there anymore. It's been a few years. Mm-hmm. They had a candy store where it was that's all they sold. They held a whole bunch of different candies. And I saw they had Wonka bars. I went, oh, there's no way. So I got one of those. I got a big jawbreaker. And that was the same day I realized that giant candy stores and old mom and pop videos both have adult sections. Because it had an adult section where you can get like edible underwear and shit like that. And like flavored condoms.
And
the worst part is, that's true. We went in there, I'm like, and I was young. It wasn't like a blocked off section. It was like in a different room, like mood lighting.
Was there like beads to get through?
No, it was just open.
Was it candy beads to get through?
No. But it was just so weird because it's like, how I want to explain it? My young self was like, that seems so inconvenient. You have to put them on and then try and eat them. That's so.
How can you eat your own underwear?
Yeah, exactly. How are you going to do that? Do you wear them for the day and then come back and later on at night you have a snack? Yeah, they're slowly deteriorating because they're like Smarties.
Yeah, you're walking along. Your mom's like, "Why do you have like red liquid coming out of underneath your pants?"
It's either a really good thing or they're both bad things.
Yeah, both bad things. Either way, taste and see what it is.
But yeah, so that was a funny thing. I hope that building's still there. We go to Atlantic City and go see it. They had a giant statue made out of M&Ms.
Okay.
In the shape of Eminem.
I was waiting I was anticipating that giant statue of Eminem. I'm like, there could be several things. I'm hoping it's just a big Eminem.
No, it was Eminem the rapper.
Oh.
it was yeah, that's what I meant. Not a giant Eminem.
You said Eminem. I pictured like a big, like one of those guys in the commercials, like big, like circle.
Oh, no, the rapper Eminem.
Oh, you didn't specify. When you say Eminem out loud, you don't know if I'm saying the candy or the rapper.
Eminem in the Eminem.
Yeah, his favorite candy is Mars bars.
For real?
Probably.
Why?
I mean, it would have been funnier if it was M&M's, but I don't think it is.
Is it Mars bars because his name's actually Marshall? Is that what you're trying to do?
I didn't realize that until you said that out loud.
Because it has some of the same letters.
I guess. Hey, Derek.
M-A-R-S-H.
Derek.
E-O. What?
Did you hear about this?
Probably not.
Did you hear about,
Your thing's breaking. Your pop filter's breaking.
Oh, it is.
You're spitting too hard, Bryce.
My raps are too fluid.
Yeah! I was wondering if you were gonna get that meme.
It's popping apart. It's fine.
Mine is still good. I got a good quality one. I had to go buy my own.
Now we're having the listener anticipation of what this first story is going to be.
Yeah, I know. What is it, anyways?
I'm looking at this name right.
Okay.
It's CHRYSIPPUS.
CH.
That
was a noise.
It was
the studio audience should stay in the rafters where they belong.
How did you get down the stairs so fast? Chryspus?
C-H-R.
Like Chrysler Ipus?
Probably. I imagine it's a foreign name.
Yeah, it's he was a Greek philosopher.
Oh, this is going to be fun. Greek philosopher.
Greek philosopher, born in Sicilia, but moved to Athens as a young man. He eventually became the third head of the Stoic school. He excelled in logic and theory of knowledge, ethics, and physics, created the original system for propositional logic in order to better understand the workings of the universe and the role of humanity within it.
So you say he was one of the masters of the universe?
No, he was third in the school, so he was like the third master of the universe.
So he's not He-Man, he's the guy whose neck stretches out really long. He's that like action figure.
They man. Them over there, man.
Man.
Those guys.
You know what it just reminded me of?
What?
The guys, going back to cartoons, because I'm in a cartoon mood.
Okay.
The guys that made Ben 10, instead of going as like one person creating it, it was a group of guys.
Yeah.
So whenever it says it goes created by Men of Action, and that's what their title is. There's like 4 of them. There's like just called Men of Action.
It's that way. If you lose somebody, you can just put somebody else in their place, and you don't change.
Pretty much, yeah. So this still thing.
He adhered to domestic view of fate, and nevertheless sought a role of personal freedom in thought and action. In ethics, he thought depended on understanding the nature of the universe. He taught therapy of extirpating the unruly passion which depress and crush the soul. He initiated the success of Stoicism as one of the most influential philosophical movements for centuries in the Greek and Roman world.
Philosophy is like the dumb man's science, correct?
Pretty much. They sit around and like, this is probably how it is. And you're like, yeah. You know what? Write that down.
Because you don't have to prove anything in philosophy. You just kind of go, it's a theory.
Yeah.
We're philosophers.
At some point, yeah.
I have a philosophy.
Or hit me with it.
All right.
I'm ready.
You know how, I don't even think it's a philosophy. I just thought of this. I don't know why.
It's a philosophy. Hit me with it.
You know how people go, it's a waste of fucking time?
Yeah.
You think that first phrase was ever made by a guy who was like a nymphomaniac? He wasn't upset. He just knew he was wasting his actual fucking time. Like, I could be home fucking right now.
And my schedule is supposed to be fucking now.
Yeah, exactly. 3 o'clock fucking, 4 o'clock fucking, 5 o'clock bathroom, 5:15 fucking.
6 o'clock lunch.
Yeah. Wow, that's a late lunch.
I mean,
that's a dinner almost.
I mean, time's full of fucking.
He doesn't break for lunch. He has Mars bars next to his bedside so he can eat.
Feed me my Mars bars. See, I feel like that. I picture like somebody in like ancient like Rome or Greek. So he's just like, feed me grapes while I'm doing this.
He got his own little weird slave boy.
Yeah.
It's like the big bunch of grapes. Yeah. It's the robot from Futurama.
So, I bet you're wondering, why are we talking about a philosopher? I've phrased a lot of stories in this fashion where I present like a normal person who did normal life things.
And then something crazy goes
and
at
tell
him.
the fun story about them. Well, let's talk about the fun story about how he died.
Okay.
Because I feel like a lot of things on this podcast, and mostly I want to talk about their deaths, and oftentimes their deaths are funny.
It's a show about death.
It kind of is. Don't look over. Look over for approval.
I thought you would like that joke.
So, Chrysippus saw his donkey eating his figs. He told
his figs?
His figs, like the fruit.
Okay.
He's like, he got angry. You know what? I'm gonna teach this donkey a lesson.
Those are my figs.
Those are my figs. He told his slave
donkey
to give his donkey wine to wash them down with.
Why does he want them back? Is he expecting the figs to come out perfect on the other end?
I don't know what he was thinking. Nobody knows what he was thinking.
Doesn't figs already make you shit, technically?
Yeah, it's a helps your bowels.
Yeah, it's like a natural laxative.
Yeah. So the donkey drank the wine, got drunk, and started stumbling around, knocking into things.
No shit.
Chrysippus thought this was hilarious. So hilarious, in fact, that he died from laughing too much. Derek's not going to be quiet for the rest of the episode, trying to keep this bit going.
I'm dead. Leave me alone.
I need
someone to take over. I'm dead.
So don't look over. So the death from laughter has been recorded from 5th century BC all the way to 1975, in which people laugh so much that it triggers cardiac arrest or asphyxiation.
They say laughter is supposed to keep you alive longer.
Yeah, it's supposed to be the best medicine. But if too much of a good thing is a bad thing.
I don't know about that.
I don't know. People have been dying from... So, there have been many stories in media from dying from laughter. I'm just going to list off some things. I don't have the...
Not one will be somebody out of Adam Sandler comedy stand-up routine.
Yeah, his stand-up's pretty good. His movies used to be terrible. The new ones are pretty good.
I bet you no one died laughing at him, though.
Correct. So, I'm going to list off some...
Do you think that's a goal for comedians? To have someone die laughing at their show?
I feel like their goal is to have not anyone die at their show.
But that's such a good claim. You can wear T-shirts of that.
Yeah, I would.
You'll die laughing.
I would get the family's approval first, and then I'll be like, "Can I profit off their death?" So in media, there was people dying from laughter in Fallout, Seinfeld, Batman.
I remember the Seinfeld one.
Yes, Little Shop of Horrors, and a Monty Python skit.
Of course.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I think it's like the third book. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? And in The Sims, you could die from laughing too much.
The video game?
Yes.
Did I ever tell you the story why I hate The Sims video game?
You have not.
Okay.
Hit me with it.
Back when it was on the GameCube, my brother played The Sims a lot. And I played Smash Brothers a lot. And I had everything unlocked in Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
Because he didn't know what override meant. You know how you can override and it'll just save over top of the thing?
Yeah.
He made a new save every time he saved, to the point that it got full, and he went, I can start deleting stuff, and he just deleted every other game, so we could go on the memory card. It was like, The Sims, The Sims, The Sims, The Sims, The Sims. It was just all The Sims. And then I deleted everything off the memory cards. Like, looks like you gotta start over in The Sims.
God.
And I never unlocked everything in Smash Brothers ever again, because I stopped playing it after a while.
Oh, that sucks, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, you're not.
I am, though.
I don't need your sympathy.
So those are fictional stories of people laughing from death.
Are there real ones?
Let's talk about the real stories of people laughing from death. Death from laughter. We have Xerxes from the 5th century BC. He's a painter. He's said to have died laughing at the humorous way in which he painted the goddess Aphrodite, after an old woman who commissioned it insisted on modeling for her.
Okay. I would have laughed at that too.
In 1410, King Martin of Aragon died from a combination of indigestion and uncontrollable laughter by a joke told by his favorite court jester. So I feel like
he
paid to do that one.
That court gesture probably felt like $1 million after that. I would, as much as you say it, I would love to tell a joke and have someone die from it. Even if I have to do it myself.
And 15, oh, don't look at me. In 1556, Pietro Arento said he died of suffocation from laughing too much. He was a painter.
What year was this one again?
1556. In 1660, Thomas Urquhart, a Scottish aristocrat, said to have died of laughing upon hearing that Charles II had taken the throne. This motherfucker over here is on the throne?
That's a laugh. No, you don't know why he was laughing. Someone's like, "It's true." He goes, "What?" And then he had a heart attack after that shit happened.
It's like, no, but seriously, who's on the throne? No, I heard the joke the first time, but who was actually taking the throne?
It's almost like, never mind.
In 1799, like William Cushing, a pauper who lived in England, died from a fit of excessive laughter, which lasted 5 minutes.
The fuck's a pauper?
A pauper. Let me look it up real quick.
That sounds like something to do with chimneys.
Meaning poverty. He lived in poverty.
Okay.
So it could have been just any job. It wasn't his job. He wasn't,
Oh, okay.
Rich. On October 14th, 1920, Mr. Arthur Cobcraft, a dog trainer from Australia, was reading a 5-year-old newspaper and was amused by the prices of some of the commodities in 1915 compared to 1920. He made a remark to his wife regarding this and burst into laughter. In the midst of it, collapsed and died.
Imagine if you do that nowadays, you wouldn't be laughing. You'd just be really pissed off. Like, what do you mean such and such was only 20 cents? That's $3
now. He said the doctor was called. He said he was heart failure from excessive laughter. And then the most recent one was March 24th, 1975. Alex Mitchell of England died while watching Kung Fu Caper's episode of The Goodies.
I don't know why The Goodies got me.
The Goodies was an old TV show.
I imagine. It just made me laugh. The Goodies. Much better than the baddies.
He laughed
or the alrighties.
He laughed for 25 minutes. He finally slumped over on the sofa and died of heart failure. His widow later sent The Goodies a letter thanking him for making Mitchell's final moments so pleasant.
How do you know? He might have been like, I can't stop. Dude.
I can't stop. Alright, so do you think dying from laughter compared to like other deaths is a better or worse way to go?
Depends on which death you're talking about. Because dying in your sleep, I imagine that's a lot better because you don't realize it's happening. It just happened. Do you think you realize it happens? Like while you're asleep, you think it's like a nightmare thing? Like when you know how they say the theory, if you fall and hit the ground and you don't wake up, you're probably dead at that point.
Yeah.
Where if you hit the ground and you wake up, you lived or whatever.
Yeah. You stutter yourself awake.
Yeah. Do you think you feel it when you die in your sleep?
I feel like it's just one of those, like, it just ends. Mm-hmm. And you're like, no, it's darkness. Because that picture is like, it's a normal dream. Is you eating a long sandwich, and you start choking on the sandwich, and then you just...
it's a big hoagie.
Yeah, and then you just watch your body just lay there for a while. Forever.
I like how Bryce at the end said it's just darkness. This is where we get into the theories of where we think the afterlife goes.
Let's not go there with this podcast.
I imagine there's a door for everyone, except they're all locked. And the guy who owns the building doesn't know what he did with his keys.
I like the idea of the afterlife just being you're on a subway waiting to get your stop and it never gets to your stop.
I'd hate that so much.
You have to talk to like the worker, like, I'm supposed to get off on 4th Street. And you're like, we're on 24th Street.
Shit.
We're going to 25. We're just wait. We'll come back to yours. And it
doesn't come back. Getting higher and higher. Oh, that would be awful. And it gets
2nd Street, 3rd Street, 5th Street. Wait.
I remember there was I can't remember who said it in my church, but one of their ideas was, they said like in the Bible, like when you die, it's like an endless thing of you meeting other people.
Yeah.
So by the time you get back to the end of the line, you don't remember the first person's thing. So you have to meet them all over again. And I immediately sat there and I'm like, see, I wouldn't do that because I don't like people. I'm like, fuck you. I don't like you. Why am I even in this line?
You seem cool.
Yeah, exactly. You're all right.
Is this line for the bathroom? I think we both. As a lot of theories are, it's just like you're doing one task forever. But
that's horrible.
I'm like, what's the funniest like one you could come up with?
It's us sitting here doing a podcast that will never get released.
It's more like, so for it's you, it's like, all right, I have another story. Like, we've been recording for a while now. Don't I have something to do after this? No, wait, I got another story.
It's more of a purgatory or a hell, but you know.
Yeah. I like the subway idea. I thought was funny.
It's a neat idea.
Or subway or just public transportation in general.
Now, is it indoors? Because if it's a subway, you can't see outside.
Yeah.
Or can you like see like the stations when you pull in? Are there people there, like Spirited Away? Are there like people chilling?
And other people get on, but nobody gets off.
How crowded is the subway? Is it a really long one so you can go to like different rooms?
I picture it like you're ghosts, so you can go through each other. You're just like, I can't see. There's so many ghosts.
I don't like this theory anymore. I like the thing where it's like, oh, there's probably like 10 of us on here.
There's probably more than one train.
Yeah.
So it's not just like one car, but like a car of
and
train.
There's one really cool train that's going to be driven by Ozzy Osbourne when he dies.
And everyone gets
and it's going to go off the rails.
It's like, the bottom. Yeah. And then immediately crashes.
All right. Because I have a feeling, I have a strong inkling.
Okay.
Not putting any curses on Ozzy Osbourne. I think I'm going to outlive him. Got a strong theory about that.
I personally, I don't know Ozzy. I would like to see that happen.
You like to see him outlive me?
No, like if you outlive him, that'd be nice.
Most definitely. But as soon as I die, if it's the train thing, and a train comes up, it's got a little nice guy in an all white suit. He's got little wings. He goes, "Oh, welcome aboard." And I look over to my right, and there's Ozzy on his train. It's like all badass and shit.
Yeah.
And he goes, "This train goes straight to hell." And he does like his old Ozzy thing. I'm like, fuck, I'm getting on that train. I'm not gonna like the end result, but it's gonna be fun going.
I'm gonna like the ride, not the destination.
I actually just listened to his new song that he did with it's Macklemore. What is it? What's the one guy?
I have no idea.
The guy you always say he's not a rapper, but we always say he's a rapper.
Post Malone?
Is it Post Malone?
I think so.
Yeah, him and Ozzy did a song recently. I think you were telling me about it. This is like from like a month ago, but I finally sat down and listened to it.
I made a joke about it. I don't remember who he did the song with.
I want to say it's Post Malone.
By the way, Ozzy Osbourne is 71 years old.
Yeah, I'm going to outlive Ozzy Osbourne unless something really bad happens in the next few weeks.
Let's hope it doesn't.
A train comes through our recording.
But with Ozzy on board.
But anyways, yeah, I just listened to that and that was really good. I think that's why I have Ozzy on the brain right now.
Yeah. I'm trying to find who he did the song with.
It doesn't really matter. It's not really a rap song. It's more of like it's a really basic song, but it has a really good chorus.
Yeah.
I don't like.
I think it's Post Malone. I found one with Post Malone, so I think what the joke was.
All the old people don't know who Post Malone is, and all the young people don't know who Ozzy Osbourne is.
It's like Ozzy Osbourne friends. Who's Post Malone? Post Malone fans. Who's Ozzy Osbourne? Ozzy Osbourne. Who's Ozzy Osbourne?
He's still going for his age.
Yeah.
I don't think he tours like majorly anymore, but he still makes music.
Well, making music is a lot easier than touring.
That's what you see. Don't say that. You don't know how hard it is to make music. Have you made a song, Bryce?
Comparatively between the two.
Oh, between touring. Yeah.
Between touring and making music.
Hey, says you
can stay in one place and make music.
You can go to Elton John route and do touring and never tour. Elton John's been to Florida twice in like less than a year and a half. Hasn't done either fucking show. Because the first one got canceled because he had like a nose ache, and the other one got canceled because he had an eye ache. And I'm like, you didn't know this before everybody showed up? Everybody was there. They all got into the Amway Center. They're like, yeah, it's canceled. He'll be back though. We're gonna postpone it.
There was
his train's learning late.
I saw this post from John Mulaney. Mm-hmm. He said they had to make a third postpone of his comedy show in Australia because he's hosting SNL that weekend. And he's like, I know I'm postponing it again, but they're offering me to host a SNL.
He used to work for SNL.
Yes. He's like, it's kind of a big thing. Kind of super want to do this. Love you guys. I'll be back. I gotta go do this real quick. So they had Lauren, like the producer, like the showrunner of SNL, write a letter to Australia, like the people there. I think it's Australia. I don't know. And it was like, I have to borrow John Mulaney for a weekend. I know he'll be back. He'll be fine. He'll feel funny.
It's a big thing. I owe you one John Mulaney.
Yeah,
put it on the fridge.
It was like, since he left, I get him every other weekend. This is his weekend. I get him.
It's a weird stepchild custody battle. Yeah. Anyways, back to death.
Yeah.
We were talking about better ways to die.
Yeah.
And then we started talking about trains. Mm-hmm. And then it got really cool with Ozzy, and now it got off course. But back to death.
Yes. So.
You know what you kind of reminded me of? Because I don't know if you know about it. Have you ever seen the things of, it's like a whole Wikipedia page about it, of people who just burst into flames, like just spontaneous combustion? Yeah. Apparently that's another really rare thing that just happens.
I've heard that was a myth.
No, I believe there's some cases on it, actually. People just catching fire for no reason.
Looking it up
How
right
would
now.
you feel? Would you want to die of laughter, or do you want to just burst into flames?
Burning alive is one of the worst ones.
Well, no, you don't burn alive. You burst. I imagine you die
explode?
probably internally at first, and then, you ignite.
There have been
Thank you, live studio audience, for agreeing with me.
People spontaneously combusting. This alleged phenomenon is not considered true spontaneous combustion, as opposed to cases have been largely attributed to the wick effect.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's not real spontaneous combustion, but it's still like something happens inside you.
Yeah.
And fucks your system up.
I don't see any. I'm going to try to find ones where it happened and have like stories behind it.
Bryce is currently doing an impromptu. Did you know about this?
I'm doing the research right now.
From Wikipedia. The most trusted in all of high school literature.
Let's do the most recent one, 2010.
Fuck it, that soon.
The death of Michael Faherty. Faherty.
Are you sure this is a real story?
Faherty. Faherty.
Oh, okay. It sounded like you said Fire Hurty, and I'm like, oh, I'm fucking serious.
76-year-old man in Ireland, not surprised by that last name, was recorded as spontaneous combustion by the coroner. The doctor, McLaughlin, made this statement on recording next to death. This fire was thoroughly investigated, and I'm left to the conclusion that it fits into the category of spontaneous human combustion, for which there is no adequate explanation.
Well, he's from Ireland. He's like 90% alcohol.
You got too close to a flame.
Yeah, exactly.
Within 10 feet, it's not within 10 feet of fire.
Someone was like, do you have a light? He goes, yeah, I got one right here. Like next to a gas station.
I got one right here. He just doesn't move his hand, just lights on fire. Oh, gosh.
He's actually the Human Torch.
There's other cases. There's only has 5 cases from 1951 to 2010.
Yeah, see? Spontaneous combustion. I'm helping with the podcast.
There was in 1951 said that the internal temperature reached 3,500 degrees.
Shit.
So yeah, I would rather die from laughing by far.
Well, that's probably way faster.
Yeah.
It may hurt for a second, but it's not laughing for 5 minutes and not being able to breathe and then going to cardiac arrest and dying. How about falling off a building or falling off of something really tall?
I still say laughing is probably the top ones because you do get that enjoyment at first.
You don't like falling from high heights?
No.
It's very enjoyable.
People aren't scared of heights. People are scared of falling.
Fuck you, I'm scared of heights. I don't like being
You're scared of falling from that height.
No, not really.
What?
You would die before you hit the pavement, so.
You would die when you hit the pavement.
No, you don't. You tend to have panic attacks and pass out and die. And then you hit in your body, which is no longer your problem at this point.
First, all it goes to your thighs, and then you explode. See, I'm still on the fence of laughing instead of.
Do you think if you fall from really high height that your body impacts the ground and you go into the ground, or do you think because you build up so much momentum, your body hits and you turn it like paste? And you fly.
I feel like it wouldn't be either one. It depends on the height.
I'm going from like an airplane.
From an airplane?
But you're not hitting grass. You're gonna hit like a major city street. Pavement.
From that height, hitting anything is the same.
True.
You are going to become plaster.
You can survive an airplane fall. There have been people who survived airplane falls.
It depends on how far up the air. If it's on the ground, I can survive that.
Bryce's like, I can do it. He just he buys a ticket, gets in a plane, he just jumps off
before it takes off. Did it?
I just break my ankles on the way down.
It's a 10-foot drop. I don't think I survived this. Actually,
it's way taller than a 10-foot drop. That's why I have that little tube that comes out when you have to get on airplanes.
I thought it was about 10 feet.
I thought it was at least 2 stories.
Maybe it's 2 stories. I don't know, man. I don't know anything about planes.
Haven't you been to it?
I've been to airplanes. You've been to
airplanes?
I've never been to airport. Been on airplanes though. Explain that.
Are you for real?
No.
I was about to say. I was like, what are you going to just random places to have like personal planes?
Yeah, I walk straight into the tarmac and I'm like, let me in. And like, okay, get you a ladder.
So, I don't know. It seems like one of those things where I would start and then I would realize that I can't stop.
And then you panic.
And yeah, exactly. I wouldn't die from laughter. I would die from panicking.
Because they say the laughter causes the actual death.
Yeah.
So it's like heart failure and stuff like that. So I feel like,
but that's in more of not to be rude. That's kind of like when you know how they always say no one ever dies of AIDS. They die of stuff because of AIDS.
Yeah.
It seems like that. Like no one's really dying of laughter. They're dying because of heart problems. The laughter is helping it, but it's
same thing
the
with
heart issue.
Same thing with dying of old age. You don't die of old age. You die of like organ failure.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I want to see what the list of people dying of actual old age is. Like they just went to sleep and then I guess that's a thing. Yeah, you go to sleep and you don't wake up.
I feel like that's much more common than like most other things.
But like you say, most old people don't really die of old age. They usually die of health issues. They come with old age.
Yeah. So you get really old, then everything kind of stops working.
It's kind of like, why are you still here?
You did your duty much long ago.
All the organs start a union. They demand stuff, and they're like, "We're gonna fucking quit." And they all shut down. The brain's the boss. It's like, no.
The liver's there with a picket sign. I feel like we've been doing this for way too long. With no pay. The stomach's like, you know what? You're right. Gallbladder's like, why am I still here?
The appendix is like, nah, I'm good. I don't do anything anymore. It quit a long time ago.
The appendix is the organ that doesn't do anything, right?
Well, not anymore.
It's the gallbladder.
No, it's the appendix.
I get confused.
You don't need your appendix.
The appendix is like, the appendix is the one causing it.
You could be doing stuff for nothing like I do, and they just smoke their cigarette.
You could do nothing for nothing instead of something for nothing.
Yeah. But you don't need your appendix.
Okay,
That's
conspiracy
one of those
theory.
things.
You ready? I got my conspiracy theory.
Bryce is getting a conspiracy theory.
You won't die of old age if you don't have an appendix, because there's no strike, because they're the ones organizing the strike.
You see what's going on here?
Don't look at the audience.
I usually say the stupid stuff. He's saying stupid stuff now. Bryce, I will let you take out your own appendix. I have mine still, and we will see who lives longer.
Do I have to take it out? Or can I go to a doctor?
No.
Then I'm just going to die from the surgery. I don't know what I'm doing.
I'll take you to the hospital afterwards. Your appendix,
that's terrible. I don't know where it is.
Your appendix is on your left side, if I'm correct.
If I guess wrong, I'm going to be very dead.
Your left side. And that's why if you ever have a pain on your left side and you push it in, not if it hurts when you push in, if it hurts if you let go, you're in trouble and you need to go to the hospital. Because that means your appendix is about to pop.
I'm good.
Well, no, you would have some slight pain before then, but...
Yeah, I'm stabbing my ribs. I hurt. Everything hurts. Because you keep stabbing yourself.
We've talked about that with me and my fear of my appendix popping. We did that on this show.
Yeah.
And that's why every now and then you'll see me go, I'm good. Because my sides always hurt because I sleep on a horrible fucking mattress.
I'm good too. I'm over just poking myself. Hey, Derek, do you want to do our new segment?
We have a new segment?
Well, this segment we tried last couple times.
Been drawing a dick on your forehead.
With your finger, so it's not actually going to show anything.
Says you got really ill. Let's get that off my finger. A new segment that's not a new segment because we've been doing it for 3 weeks. This will be officially 3 weeks of this.
Yes, it's time I fucked up. It's stories of real people and them fucking up.
I just fucked up right now because I touched Bryce's nasty ass forehead.
Wow, thanks, man.
You're welcome.
I'm now self-conscious about everything I do.
You're always self-conscious about everything you do.
Yeah. As always, I'm not going to read off. This is from the TIFU subreddit. So, I'm just pulling from the top ones where I can find whichever ones I like. I'm not going to read the titles of them because I did the first time and I realized it kind of ruins it. So I'm just going to jump right into it. I'm going to try to skip over things that are
blatant.
Yeah, it doesn't really need it. This is kind of a long one.
Have you read these already?
This one I skimmed over. I thought it was fine.
That high class research right there.
The other ones I did read.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just gonna go right into this one.
Skim it.
It's kind of a longer one.
Get like milk and skim.
It's kind of a longer one, so just try to keep up as much as I can. This is in first person of the person who wrote it.
Okay.
Recently, I traveled to Denver, Colorado with my wife and my wife's parents. As a resident of a non-legalized state, the thing I was looking forward most to was a chance to buy fancy legal weed. What could possibly go wrong?
All right.
So the first thing I do upon arriving is drag my wife to a nearby dispensary for a shopping spree. And it was just like in my dreams. Tons of different options and neat little sample jars, and a team of helpful stoners walking me throughout the various strains. Are you looking for a mellow body high, or are you looking for something that gives you a bit more pep and energy, or are you hoping for something light to take the stress off?
I want something that'll make me sink into the floor, make me think my arms are falling off.
I want one that makes me laugh to death. In hindsight, if I learned anything from this experience, is that my math and my science teachers never taught me basic information, like what's an ounce, or how much weed can a person consume in a single weekend. Sure, I can tell you when two speeding trains leaving several stations will collide, or recite Avocado's number. But
who the fuck is Avocado?
I don't know, but it turns out that none of that information is particularly relevant to getting high in a responsible and efficient manner.
You're really bad today.
I know. And it was at this dispensary that I also learned that you can't actually smoke in public places, including my hotel room where my wife and I were staying. As a result, before leaving, I begged my wife to buy some edibles that I can munch on until we found a place to properly get lit. After expressing shock at the absurd volume of drugs we were buying, she relents, and we walk out of the store what felt like a dump truck full of weed, plus a small package of seemingly innocent ginger snap cookies.
I think I know where this story's gonna go.
When we finally get back to the hotel room, I tear those bad boys open, only to find about a dozen tiny cookies roughly the size of a quarter. Seeing the skepticism in my eyes, my wife warns me that I should go easy and look at the back of the package before trying one. One dosage size is half a cookie. I read silently as I start taking micro bites from the edges, like a giant chinchilla gnawing at a sunflower seed.
That's a fucking hell of an analogy.
Yeah, I'm just reading it, so this is what they wrote. What kind of savage only eats half a cookie?
Honestly, that was gonna be my thing. Like, who the fuck eats half of anything?
So a second later, I covertly popped the remainder into my mouth. Then quickly stuffed another 2 cookies in my mouth for a good measure the moment my wife turns her back. We may not have legal weed back home, but I routinely devour an entire package of Milanos in one sitting without breaking a sweat. Your move, tiny ginger snaps. About 30 minutes later, we're in the backseat of her parents' rental car on our way to dinner. And
oh shit, he did it before dinner? That's a bad move. You get hungry.
And that's when things start to go tits up. My stomach growls, loudly and angrily. My wife looks at me with inquisitive eyes that seem to say, diarrhea? But I merely clutch my stomach and mumble something about altitude sickness. You didn't eat a whole cookie, did you? She asks. Of course not, I respond, avoiding eye contact for the remainder of the car ride. A few minutes later, we're climbing out of her parents' rental car, heading into some trendy farm-to-table restaurant. I don't remember how I made it to my seat. I don't remember even looking at the menu. But I do remember the concerned look on the waiter's face as he asked me if I was doing all right. Keep it together, man, I say to myself. My wife's sudden groan suggests she may have also said that to the waiter. Things are going downhill fast. The waiter nods sympathetically, takes her orders, and heads to the next table. The moment he walks away, my wife is staring daggers at me. I start to worry the jig is up. You are sweating. from your entire face, she says, with some both pity and disgust. Not quite knowing what to do, I reach for my napkin and proceed to blot my cheeks, nose, neck, chin, and forehead. At this point, my wife's mom looks over at me with some concern. "Are you alright?" she asks kindly. "Yeah, the food's just a bit spicy," I reply, far too quick to realize that we had literally just ordered, and there was nothing at the table except for a basket of back dinner rolls.
Very spicy dinner rolls.
My wife kicks me under the table, and I grab my attention. "Bathroom, now," she hisses. "Get it together." I reluctantly get up from the table and head to the toilet. After splashing a couple handfuls of water on my face, I approach the urinal and start to pee. Now, one of the most discerning effects of those tiny ginger snap monsters is that the feeling at the time had become untethered from reality. As I'm peeing, I start to get a very uneasy feeling that I have been taking piss for the better part of an hour. That my wife must be pacing around the restaurant worried about me. But deep down, I know that's absurd. I'm peeing all my life, sometimes multiple times a day. I probably take more than 50,000 leaks, and usually only takes about a minute or at most. So given that my typical pee is no more than 60 seconds, and given that feels like I'm about halfway done, that means I've probably only been standing for 30 seconds, right? The guy at the urinal next to me doesn't respond. Instead, starts shuffling away from me midstream, like a startled penguin. I bet unsuccessfully, to break eye contact. After finally finishing, I again splash some water on my face. I return to my seat, making sure to apologize to the table for being gone for such a long time, and just in case my math is off. Next, I try briefly to engage in small talk with my wife's father, but I'm far too high to understand what either of us are saying. Not wanting to start laughing uncontrollably at the wrong moment.
Oh, he dies. I get it. He's controlling. He can't control his laughter, and he dies in the restaurant.
He died at the urinal.
No.
The rest of this is just a dream.
This restaurant hasn't been open for 20 years. It's just him in there by himself.
He's sitting in the bathroom at the hotel room still.
All right.
Or not really any movement. I figured the safest idea is to nod my head periodically and drink a ton of water. Nothing cures mental fatigue like water, right? To my wife's horror, I stand up, grab my water glass, and thrust it out to the waiter, who unfortunately is on the opposite side of the restaurant. But it turns out to be really cool, and after making the way over to the table, tells me that he'll do my best to keep me stocked with ice water for the rest of the meal. He also...
This is a long story.
Yeah, it's almost the end. It's just that if the dinner rolls aren't too...
Are we there yet?
Are we there yet? Stop. If the dinner rolls aren't too spicy for me, I should probably eat one or two, so I'm not sitting there on an empty stomach. However, after going through all the bread on the table and 3 glasses of water, I start to get worried that I need actual food to offset the growing paranoia from those tiny ginger snap devils. Do you think I should flag down the waiter again to ask what's taking so long? I suggest, hoping my wife. What? He literally just ordered 3 fucking minutes ago. In exchange, my wife loses her cool. How many cookies did you eat? She demands. Whoa, ease there, Torquemedia. I respond, somewhat horrified at her outburst. Add a few cookies, but keep it down. I don't want your parents to know how fucked I am right now. Really? We're sitting 2 feet from you. We know. I look up and for the first time notice both my in-laws are just staring at me for what felt like eternity. So.
Is that it?
That's it.
That's it.
Okay.
I have a few comments.
Go for it.
And one question.
Sure.
Because I listened to this whole story and I try to stay quiet as much as I could. First things first, we should do a thing where we go on a road trip. We don't eat as many as this fucking dude, but I want to try. I don't think I would like to smoke marijuana. Never smoked marijuana, but I think eating it is way easier.
Yeah.
Because it gets to your system faster.
If you haven't smoked anything before, you've been doing that your entire life. So eating an edible is going to be easier than doing any sort of smoking if you've never smoked
We should try that. We should go to, Maine or something?
Is legal in Maine?
I think so. But Maine's really far away. Where's the closest place? We know, audience, that you probably know where you can get some. I want to get some legally, audience. I'm a good boy. I'm a good egg. You're not even the shape of an egg.
So I'm pulling up a map right now of legal places. States.
I know Florida, we have it medically.
So
I laugh too hard. Can I have medical marijuana, please?
There's It's fully legal in Illinois, Michigan. There's none of them near the South, by the way.
Yeah, it's all northern states. They know how to party.
Massachusetts, Vermont, Maine, Illinois, Michigan, Colorado, Nevada, Washington.
Nevada? We can go to Vegas.
We can go to Vegas. Oregon, California.
You die of dysentery in Oregon.
Alaska.
Of course. What else are they going to fucking do in Alaska?
Be cold.
Eat deer? Sorry, no, caribou?
It's really funny. Wisconsin, it's fully illegal. And the state right underneath it, it's fully legal.
So a lot of people travel there for the weekends.
Yeah, they just, and then because it's Wisconsin, Michigan to its right, and Illinois to its south, and both of those two states are fully legal, and it's completely illegal in their state.
So people would literally probably just travel for that.
Yeah,
but I think that'd be fun.
Just so you know, this entire map is green.
Shit.
Yeah, the entire map is green.
Are the black ones? I'm guessing where it's legal.
The dark green is fully legal.
Okay.
As it gets lighter, it's more
I don't know
illegal.
if I want to go to Illinois.
Why?
Illinois seems like a place I shouldn't go to. Michigan seems like it'd be funner.
Yeah.
But Nevada's only partially
the
green.
entire West Coast.
What's Nevada?
Right here.
That's not. Oh, this is New Mexico. That's what I'm looking at.
And New Mexico's is medical, but not.
We can go to Nevada. We can go see Penn and Teller High. The magic will be amazing.
Let's be real. Penn and Teller are high.
Probably.
They probably have medical. Well, especially knowing their old show, they're probably at least using medical or using it on their off time or something.
I love their show. It's still on Hulu. You can still watch it there.
Yeah.
And then the one comment, one question, while listening to this whole story, has nothing to do with this story. Mm-hmm. When he was using flavor text, he used the words "tits up."
Yeah.
I know people say like if you're fat, you float. I think that's a thing. Is that a thing? If you have like really huge tits, do you float?
I think it's because I think there's a lot of air inside of fat. Mm-hmm. I think it's a lighter substance than muscle. Mm-hmm. So if you're fatter, they say I think they say because it's the lighter substance, it floats. Yeah. But I still think it's more of just a weight in general situation.
So is milk lighter than water?
I don't believe. I don't know.
So tits up doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I think it's just an old term.
It can't be that old. I know belly up's an old term.
I think it's the same idea, except just another part of the torso, in the front.
Because not to be rude, a lot of ladies would have been saved in the Titanic if that was the case. Just push them in; they'll float. Thank you, Bryce.
Or some of the dudes.
Yeah, some of the dudes. Hey, I'll be fine. I think I can get up there. Damn, Bryce, you're making noises over there. That's what you get for drinking too much. I don't drink anything when we record.
Yeah, it's my fault.
So, in other words, we're going to do it live. We're going to do a live recording in Nevada.
Oh, jeez.
High in our hotel room.
I'll be like,
it's going to be 6 hours long.
Did you hear about this shit?
This shit right here, nigga? This shit right here? You can't say that. Don't you say that.
I wasn't going to.
Bryce. What? We're recording. Say it.
I'm not going to say it.
Say it.
He tries to pressure me into saying the N-word. I'm not going to say it.
At least I'm not trying to have you do the one with the ER.
Yeah.
I got you doing the A.
I like...
Audience, say it.
Don't. Hey, do you have anything to add before we finish this off?
About the marijuana story?
About just anything.
I wanted to talk a little bit more about this marijuana story.
I like that.
I don't really have any questions for it, but I just think it's so funny. Honestly, it seems like one of those stories that... It seems like he's so high... I don't think he would have remembered it. Yeah. Like, this seems like something he probably pulled. Like, if his wife was telling the story, like, oh, that's funnier. It seemed a little off. Because they're like the urinal bit where the guy... I've had someone do that to me before. Where they've moved over a urinal away from me. And I'm like, what did I do? That's so weird. Yeah. Have you ever had that?
It's probably a situation where they got over like, why did I go to this one? When I don't want them to feel awkward.
No.
So they probably like...
No, it's not even that. I've done it where I've walked up, I'm like, okay, I'll use this one. And then they look over and they move over a stall. So I came second.
That's just racism, then.
It's one of those things where it's like, there's only like 3.
Yeah.
So it's like, cause it's like the 2 tall ones and like a little one, cause you did have the one for,
children.
No, that's not for children.
What?
The little ones are for short people. That's what those are there for. They're not for children. Did you actually think those are always for children?
Yeah.
No, they're for midgets.
Oh, I thought it was just for children because it's like, hey, you can.
Well, children can use it. Yes, it's very short for them. But I guess it can be for children but mostly it's a short person thing.
That makes more sense than having for kids. I'm like, why don't you just use the toilet?
Yeah. Yes, that is why.
I thought this entire time it was just for kids.
No, it's for short people who aren't tall enough to use the actual.
That's a really good point.
Yes. That's why I like the ones that stretch all the way to the floor, because then you can just have all the same size ones.
Have you ever been to one that was just a big basin?
Oh, like the troughs?
Yeah.
I remember there was one I want to say it was a wrestling event, but I was sat there and I'm like, I'm not going to use the bathroom here.
I have two stories with the trough. One, there was one at a drive-in movie theater back in Ohio. Okay. So you go park your car, you watch a movie from inside your car. And then,
I know what a drive-in movie theater is. I've been to one.
And then in the middle of it, there was a concession stand, a building that has concessions in it, and the bathrooms. And the bathrooms had a trough.
I imagine they're behind, so people can't see you. Okay.
So the bathrooms are inside the building, so you can go. It's one big building for all of them, and they had a trough, and it was like in between the two. It showed two movies, so in between the two, you'd go to the bathroom. This back when it was still popular to go to this particular one. I went, and there I was like, and there's just like dudes like shoulder to shoulder in this trough. I'm like not even 10. I'm like, oh god. Me and my social anxiety is like, oh god.
Bryce is like, look at all those penises. They're all bigger than mine.
I'm sad now. No, it was.
There's 11-year-olds like, yeah, bitch.
Yeah, this man dick.
Okay, never mind.
And the second one, I saw a video of people using a trough and a guy using it as a slip and slide.
Oh fuck, that's nasty.
Yeah.
Thank you. I remember I saw one where it was like on America's Funniest Home Videos, some shit like, or True TV or something like that, where somebody like used it, they thought it was like a hand washing thing, they put their hands in it.
Oh gosh.
And they were doing somehow they were doing a news report from where the trough was. Yeah, it was a lady doing a report, she had a microphone, the guy walks in from like back of frame, he's looking around, he goes, oh okay, that must be the sink, and he puts his hands in it, and the lady's like, what's that noise? She turns around, she looks at him, she's like, okay, and he gets up, he looks around, he goes, this isn't the sink, is it? And then he goes, no, honey, no. So I think they're like in Ireland or something like that. It's like
sink, is it?
It's a foreign accent, it's like Scottish or Irish or something like that, because they all sound the fucking same to me. They do.
Hey, Derek.
Are we going to finish up finally?
Do you know who I like to shout out?
Nope.
Shout out to Young Walnut for using your intro and our outro for this podcast. He's fantastic. You can find Young Walnut on YouTube and SoundCloud. Also, you can follow us on Twitter at DYHAT Podcast. That's DYHAT Podcast. You can email us at DYHATpodcast@gmail.com. If you want to send us stories you want us to cover, or you just want to tweet at us, or follow the Twitter and we tweet whenever a new episode comes out, or we tweet at Zac Efron, either or.
Stop bringing up Zac Efron.
Why not?
See, Bryce, this is why I do the weird episodes to piss you off. Because on those episodes, you know what you don't do? You don't bring up fucking Zac Efron.
I'm going to now.
No, you're not.
I'm gonna forget.
You have very bad memory. I know you.
Do you have anything to say before I go into the last one?
No. I was trying to think of something.
This episode just filled with its awkward silence at certain points.
That's because you told a mile long story.
Yeah. Hey, Derek. Did you hear about this?
No.
Did you hear about John Sedgwick?
When you said that, as soon as I heard John, I did the John Cena meme, like, and his name is John, and then you said Sedgwick. So
John Sedgwick was a general during the Civil War.
I just literally watched an hour little documentary on YouTube about the Civil War.
This is very relevant to you then. He was a general during the Civil War. He was berating his men because they were taking cover from sniper fire.
Okay. And
he said they couldn't hit an elephant from this distance. He was promptly shot in the head and died from a sniper shot.
Oh, that's fucking stupid. I love that.